want to tell a story about a poor roofer, and yes, they literally did not have very much money, and they were a client of ours. And this isn't a case study. And hi, I'm Carl Stoy, the founder of Stoy Media. And over the past year and a half, we've been helping businesses scale with paid ads and just filling up their pipeline. But I want to talk about this because they weren't doing paid ads. We were actually only optimizing their Google business profile because we just wanted to help this roofer somehow because we knew they would potentially become a client in the future. But the reason I'm telling this story is, like I said, not a case study, but because I want you to get one thing out of this, and that's a moral and just a tip out of this. Because you may find yourself in this situation. You may find yourself in the situation where you just want to keep lowering the price of your roof replacements, your roof repairs, just because you want work. But I gotta tell you something. Do not lower your prices that much, okay? If you're at the very start and you've got like one crew and it's just you, go ahead, go cheaper than the big guys. But when you're like really low, you don't really have that many people, don't make $100 per roof replacement or just $1,000 per roof replacement just because you're the little guy. So this specific client, we were optimizing their Google business profile and we were just kind of posting on it. We got them some calls. We got them finally, their Google business profile never had any views, never had any calls. We finally started getting them some calls. They finally went out there and got some quotes, even got a roof replacement. But what this client specifically did was every single person they went to go and give a quote, they would go really cheap. I mean, everyone has seen those Facebook ads where roofers, it's actually just agencies who don't know how to put together a good offer. And that's a whole different video I've put together. Check out this channel if you want to like hear me talk more about why roofers never get results out of most agencies, because they do stuff like that. But those roofing companies that do the get a roof for $8,000, you know, plus free gutters, like those are not real offers. But this roofing company went that low. I mean, they would actually install a roof. I think they were charging like $150 a square, like all in for the customer. They were charging $150 a square, which I'm not really sure if that's the right number, but if you are shocked at that number, it's probably that number. It was really cheap. They went that cheap that the clients who, I mean, like, let me explain this. They beat everyone's quotes with $150 a square. I mean, they were really, really cheap. And every single roof replacement would be very cheap, and it wasn't because they were the lowest bidder. It wasn't because of just something, it was because they were the lowest bidder. What I'm trying to get across is, if you're a roofing company that goes the cheapest, you just want to keep knocking off the price just because you want to win the bid, you're going to get yourself into a situation where they won't even trust you, because what is your price anyways? I mean, you're willing to take off a couple $1,000s just because you want the quote or you want the replacement? Well, what does that kind of say about your integrity? Or what does that say about your desperateness? And the truth is, homeowners do not want to work with the desperate roofer. I think that's a great tip and kind of cheat code that I want you to understand. Homeowners don't want to work with a desperate roofer. They want to work with a roofer who's got, you know, crews, they've got an admin team. Even if you don't have that, they just want someone who's going to be firm on what they say. And it's really easy for a roofing company to seem way larger than they are just by keeping a firm quote. And going back to this story, this company would constantly lower their prices way lower. They would always be the lowest bidder. And when they actually went back and asked, oh, did you get a couple other quotes? Like, what were you thinking? What did you think about our quote? They would say, oh, you were really competitive, but we decided to go with someone else. And this guy kept scratching his head. He's like, oh, you know, homeowners nowadays want to get 5 quotes and all this other stuff. But the truth is, it was because he was too cheap. And I want you to understand this too as a roofing company. Do not be the cheapest person. Don't be the cheapest. Nobody wants to be the cheapest. And even in your desperation where you just want to give $3,000 off for a roof replacement, don't do it. Most roofing companies are probably going to watch this and say, well, no, we're not the cheapest. We're not the most expensive. We're right in the middle. I've heard this like a gazillion times. But there's times when in your desperation, you may want to just become the cheapest person. And I urge you, don't do it. Stay firm on your price unless you have a fixed like discount that you do for every client. Because if you are just kind of like loose on your price, you're willing to drop $2,000 off of the roof replacement quote just because you want the business, it's going to make the homeowner see you as desperate, which they don't like. And they're not going to see you as someone with integrity. Even if they don't like the price, sticking at your price is way better than dropping $2,000 just to get the quote or just to get the project. And another one I also want to talk about is if you are always dropping the price that much, it's better that you just, instead of dropping all the price, invest that into sales training. And I've heard stories of people like saving all that money, not having to lower the price simply by just getting good at sales and not having to lower the price. But I urge you, if you get one thing out of this video and me talking in front of this whiteboard, it's that I urge you, stick to your price, and even in your desperation, don't lower the price that much. Don't lower the price drastically $2,000, $3,000 just because you want the project. I urge you, stay at your price, because the homeowners are going to see you as desperate, and they're not going to see you as someone with integrity on what you say. Because what you said an hour ago was, $15,000 for the replacement. Now you're willing to do it for 13? What do you mean now? So, of course, if you do want to lower the price, I want to be clear, there's called a feature downsell. So if you do want to lower the price, or the homeowner is like, oh, this price is too much, you just ask them to remove some of the features. So like, for example, for roofing, you would say, well, do you care about having, X shingles? Would you just be okay with just the get it done type of shingles? Would you just be okay? And I urge you, quote with the better shingles so that you do have the opportunity to do this. Because if the better shingles are obviously better, you're only doing them a service by quoting with the better shingles. And then if they say, oh, this is too much, you say, well, do you care about having these premium shingles? Do you just want the get it done shingles? And if the answer is yes, then okay, we can just take $2,000 off, or however much is. We're not the roofers, we're the marketers, stoymedia.com. But okay, we'll just take that money off, and then you can just get the lower price with the get it done shingles. And so do you want to move forward with this? And you just ask for the sale again. So I want to make this clear out of the story. Do not be the desperate roofer. And I'm really hoping that you never end up in that situation. I'm going to pray for you that you don't get in that situation, but please make sure that you don't get desperate, because homeowners see that and they will not buy from you, even in your desperation.